Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the depths of the mind and delve into the realms of self-discovery. In today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating concept of the mind's constant search for nourishment to form and maintain its identity and sense of self. Join me as we unravel the complexities of the ego and discover the path to liberation. The nature of the ego. The mind, ever so restless, is in a perpetual quest to shape and define its identity. This search for self leads to the creation and ongoing recreation of what we commonly refer to as the ego. However, the true essence of the self remains untouched by the influence of past or future events. Liberation through self-awareness. Challenging life circumstances consume the majority of our attention on a daily basis, leaving only a small gap between our birth and death dates. When we become aware of the voice in our head that falsely claims to be us, we begin to awaken from our unconscious connection to the flow of thoughts. Recognizing this voice allows us to realize that our true self is not the thinker, but the observer behind it. Escaping the ego's clutches. The self, rooted in the ego, is continuously searching and striving, always looking for more objects or experiences to acquire and integrate into itself. By becoming conscious of our tendency to live for the next moment, we can step out of this pattern of egoic thinking. By directing more attention to the present moment, we can break free from the old conditioning of the ego. Release from the victim mentality. For some individuals, their victim mentality is deeply ingrained, becoming a central aspect of their ego. Observing the emotional attachment we have to our victim narrative and recognizing the compulsion to continually think or speak about it can bring about transformation and liberation. Complaining, reactivity, and comparison. One of the ego's preferred methods for fortifying itself is through complaining and reactivity. By engaging in complaints and reactions, we create a scenario where others or the situation are considered wrong, and we perceive ourselves as being right. This manifestation of the ego thrives on comparison, leading to envy and a constant need for more. Unity and forgiveness. The ego itself is inherently designed to create division and maintain a sense of separateness, which it depends on for survival. However, forgiveness and embracing the present moment can help dissolve this sense of separateness. Forgiving ourselves and others, recognizing our shared humanity, and letting go of guilt can lead us towards unity and liberation. Embracing the present moment. Establishing goals that serve the ego's purpose of boosting self-importance or liberation may not bring lasting contentment. Embracing the present moment, avoiding the reduction of every moment to a means to an end, can free us from the ego's illusion. As we conclude this thought-provoking exploration, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the nature of the ego and the path to liberation. By becoming aware of the ego's influence, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, and cultivating peace and compassion towards ourselves and others, we can break free from the egoic cycle and experience a greater sense of freedom and fulfillment. Now let's discuss the journey of compassion and self-love, exploring their profound role in the process of ego transcendence. By cultivating self-compassion and self-acceptance, we open ourselves up to a more compassionate and inclusive perspective towards others. The power of compassion. Compassion has the potential to dissolve the ego's sense of separateness and expand our awareness beyond its boundaries. By embracing compassion, we recognize our shared humanity and create a space of understanding, empathy, and kindness. Cultivating self-compassion. Cultivating self-compassion involves treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness. Practicing self-compassionate self-talk and engaging in self-care are techniques that can help nurture self-compassion in our lives. Embracing self-acceptance. Self-acceptance plays a crucial role in ego transcendence. By embracing all aspects of ourselves, including our flaws and imperfections, and letting go of self-judgment and comparison, we can cultivate self-acceptance and honor our authentic selves. Certainly, here's an additional discussion on the topic of ego transcendence and the role of mindfulness in this transformative process. The power of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a key practice that can aid in the transcendence of the ego. It involves bringing our full attention to the present moment, observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become aware of the ego's patterns and tendencies, allowing us to disidentify from them and experience a deeper sense of inner peace and freedom. Observing the ego's stories. The ego is a master storyteller, constantly weaving narratives about who we are, what we need, and how others perceive us. These stories often create a sense of separation, judgment, and attachment. Through mindfulness, we can observe these stories as mental constructs rather than absolute truths. By recognizing them as passing phenomena, we can begin to loosen their grip on our sense of self. Witnessing the ego's reactions. The ego tends to react automatically to situations, often driven by fear, desire, or the need for control. By cultivating mindfulness, we can develop the ability to witness these reactions without being consumed by them. This witnessing presence allows us to respond consciously rather than reactively, choosing actions that align with our true values and intentions. Transcending the ego's identification. The ego thrives on identification with thoughts, emotions, roles, and external circumstances. Mindfulness helps us recognize that we are not defined by these transient aspects of our experience. Through regular practice, we can cultivate a deeper awareness of the unchanging, witnessing consciousness that lies beyond the ego's fluctuations. Embracing impermanence and letting go. The ego often seeks security and permanence in a world that is inherently impermanent. Mindfulness enables us to acknowledge and accept the impermanence of all things, including our thoughts, emotions, and identities. By embracing impermanence and letting go of attachments, we can experience a greater sense of inner peace and freedom from the ego's grip. Compassionate self-inquiry. Mindfulness can be paired with compassionate self-inquiry to explore the underlying beliefs, fears, and desires that drive the ego. By approaching ourselves with kindness and curiosity, we can uncover the deeper layers of conditioning and gradually release the ego's hold on our lives. Integration and wholeness. Ego transcendence is not about denying or eliminating the ego, but rather integrating its functions into a broader sense of self. Through mindfulness, we can cultivate a balanced relationship with the ego, utilizing its practical aspects while recognizing its limitations. This integration allows us to live authentically, guided by a deeper wisdom that transcends the ego's self-centered perspective. The transformative power of self-awareness. Self-awareness is a fundamental aspect of ego transcendence. It involves consciously observing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and gaining insight into the underlying patterns and conditioning that shape our sense of self. Through self-awareness, we can begin to question the ego's narratives and attachments, paving the way for personal growth and liberation. Remember that ego transcendence is a gradual and ongoing process. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a commitment to inner growth. By embracing mindfulness and the practices that support it, we can embark on a transformative journey that leads to a more liberated, expansive, and authentic way of being. As we conclude this exploration of compassion and self-love in the process of ego transcendence, remember that it is a lifelong journey. By nurturing self-compassion and self-acceptance, we can transcend the limitations of the ego and create a more compassionate and loving world. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this expanded discussion provides further insights into the topic of ego transcendence. If you have any more specific questions, or if there's anything else you'd like to explore, feel free to let me know. If you found this video valuable, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I'll see you in the next video.